And there's many reasons to not marry. Many, 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 many. Actually, you should make other life choices than marrying. There's much better choices in life. You see, marriage only benefits the woman in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. And not just, you know, if there's a 50% chance, if there's a 50% chance that divorce happens in your life when you get married, would you take your life savings to a casino? Would you take your life savings to a casino and bet? I know it's not the best analogy, but would you go to a casino and bet your life savings on or red on black or black on roulette with a 50-50 chance that you lose everything? Nobody who's sane would do that. Nobody who's sane would ever do that. In some ways, in some ways, that's what marrying is. But it's worse than that because you're stuck with the decision. Mm. And something in the beginning it might seem like you won, but maybe you didn't. It's like, you know, there's a saying, you never really know another person. You never really know them. You can assume that you know them, but you never really know them unless you read everything about them, read their private emails, read their private messages. You don't know anything about them. And you're actually what you're doing is you're marrying a person that you don't know. That's what's really happening, especially if it's a quick decision. Like let's say you're like 25 and she's like 21 and you're marrying her. Like not only can she be super different in a year, this is what happened to Bobby Althoff basically and Corey Althoff, but you don't really know who you're marrying. And I'm pretty sure Corey Althoff thought he's marrying someone else than what she turned out to be. And so there's millions of reasons why not to marry, literally. Because let's be honest, if it's really love, now ask yourself this as a man. If it's really love, why would you need to marry? And by the way, men are slowly waking up to the idea to not marrying. Have you ever asked yourself why women are not waking up to the idea unless they've already been married? Then you'd be like, a lot of times when they go through a divorce and women are a little bit older, I know this from my sessions, they'd be like, oh, I don't really want to marry again because, I don't want to be in the same situation like I was before. Naturally. So they learn afterwards, and but before there's like, if they fall in love, there's like for a woman there's literally no reason to marry. But men are waking up to the idea too. Maybe I shouldn't be marrying. And so I believe that if it's true love or spiritual love or whatever you want to call it, or a conscious relationship, there's zero need for marriage. And you have to ask yourself also where marriage comes from. What is the history of marriage? And uh, yeah, and I'm looking at a cat. The cat is looking at me. um, so if it's true love, you're gonna stay together no matter what. If the soul plan is aligned, if the chakras are aligned, you stay together. And you can make even a commitment to each other, which doesn't need to be in the form of marriage. There's different kinds of commitments. The thing is, I think that a lot of people don't make an effort for open, honest, clear, direct communication, which sets them up for a lot of trouble down the road. And that's where the problems lead from, not whether they're married or not married. But logically, like I said, you wouldn't go into a casino and bet on black or red if if there's 50% of possibility that you're gonna lose that money. And the same thing is with a marriage. 50% of marriages end up in divorce. And the good thing is, if you're not married and you realize with the wrong person and you're not materialistic, you can just get up and leave. If you have like a marriage contract, it's gonna be more complicated. Or a marriage, like you're officially married, that's what I mean. So I I don't know why still my men still marry. I have no idea why there's men that still marry. You know what? How it came up with this video? I saw a young man on YouTube. His like 600,000, 700,000 likes for the video, so a lot of people saw that. It's a short where he proposed to his Russian girlfriend, and she seems like somewhere between 25 and 28 from age, and she seems like 21. It's just, or 22, 23, 24. It just spells disaster. It's just absolute disaster. Maybe they get as far as having children, but it's like an American with a Russian girl. Is that gonna work out? Chances like this nowadays, maybe if they move to a country where, you know, I don't think it can work. I think Americans and Russians, mentality wise, couldn't be further apart. That's also why they have this constant feud, because their character is completely different, totally different, completely different. And her dad, is probably is mm, like anti-American, and his dad is probably anti-Russian. Makes no sense whatsoever. A Czech woman would fit better with an American than a Russian woman. Less opposite, but it's still extremely opposite. A Slavic woman is completely different than an American. That's why Czech women find Americans extremely obnoxious, and British people and Germans, because it's so different. It's literally very, very different. Um, Americans can be with British, with Canadian. If they're very lucky, maybe with a Latina, but most of the time not. Um, but I don't think even Americans don't even need to fish that much outside of America, because America is large. Unless they have a trouble finding any girl at all, then they have to go to the Philippines, probably. But a Russian woman. The thing is about Russian women is, I believe they can be very good wives, or very good for family, if you have a down to earth Russian, and she's really on your team, really on your team. The thing is, if she's 21, 22, you don't know that. You might know it once she's like 27, 28, 29. Mm. Do not marry. Do not marry. You know, for who it makes sense to marry is for the people that are like, I know I know a couple that married where actually she found her husband through me, where they're both kind of very laid back. Then it works. But um otherwise, um I don't think what about marriage for passport? Well, okay, then you can marry. One of the funniest movies for that is the movie Green Card with Gérard Depardieu. It's an awesome movie where um, um, he's trying to get the green card, and so they're pretending basically that they're married or they have known each other for a long time. It's a very funny movie. Um, so, yeah, I think marrying now is like it's almost like an ultimate simp move. If you run out of all of simp moves, you marry. My two best friends married and have kids and idyllic life. It's annoying that it exists, but it does, though. Happy for them. Oh my god, I've been meaning to watch GC. Yeah, you should. It's a really good movie. Hey, sorry, got disconnected. Bad connection. Well, so I'll just talk about it another time when the connection is a little bit better. I just got disconnected. But yeah, people do have successful marriages. Like I said, my two friends, the couple that I know has that as well. But when it goes sour, it goes really sour. And you can have that's the thing. You can have an idyllic life without marriage. Where comes the idea from that you can have an idyllic life without marriage? Why shouldn't you? You have to I kind of look at that. Okay, I'll talk to you later.